Hi everyone, it's Christine, and I'm sorry y'all are hearing this chair. I have my regular chair for in here is in the other room. Alright, so I did go back and add little things to these right here. And I didn't find all of October's. I had a longer purple, but that's how October came out. And this is how January came out. Alright, so I'm going to put these aside because as we get to their pages, I'll just put them on. And we are going to try to finish up this book. Alright, so I want to get my cover on. And what this is 10 1/4 by 10 1/4 chipboard. Both sides, 2. So you'll need 2 10 1/4 by 10 1/4. And then you'll need one that is 2 3/4 by 10 1/4. Oops. And how to make this right here is, I'll have to link it because this is a Kathy Orta King hinge, the hidden hinge, and there's lots of tutorials out for this. She has a free YouTube tutorial to make this, and I will link it into the description. Okay, so I want to start on my outside. Get some of this out of my way. Okay, and I'm going to start right here because I want some of this to cover this. So, one day I'm going to come in here and I'm going to have everything where I want it, and it's going to be prepared. Instead of not having a clue where I sat something yesterday. There it is. My avalanche. Because not only do I have this here, I have the weekend challenge ready to do a video. Okay. So I cut this piece out at 2 1/2. No, I probably cut it out at 2 3/4. And this must be a little over 2 3/4. Okay, so I want to find the end of my tape. I am going to tape this up. And I'm taping it this way because this is going to fold over. I guess I should have told you that. Score at a 1/2 inch on both ends, because it's going to fold over like this. Okay, so let's get this taped up. I should have done this already. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what I was thinking. I was thinking you need to hurry because hubby said you can't do any more videos that take till after dark to upload. So I have to do my videos earlier in the day. Okay, I'm going to put one right down the center. Just because I can, and it'll give it a little extra something. Burnish. I burnish with my nails. You'll see me do this 100 times, I'm sure. Okay. And I am keeping my cover on this pretty simple, simply because I don't know how to say this. One, I really don't know what I'm going to do to decorate it. I got a semi-idea, but not a full idea of what I want to do. But I am going to keep it more simple. That's just me. It's basically what I really like. You know, I can go elaborate. Sometimes I really like that. Sometimes I don't. And I'm keeping this for me. So I'm going to probably go pretty simple. And yes, Teresa, I am throwing my score tape back in. You're 100% right, but it's on my table, not on the floor, so we're good. We're all good there. Okay. Let's get my coffee over. I'm still drinking coffee today. It's just that kind of a day. I have to have my coffee. I need to be drinking my water right now, but I had to have one more cup of coffee. Okay, so we're going to attempt to put this down. And what I'm going to do is I just want to line up my score lines with, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put okay, it doesn't have to be perfect because I know that I am going to be covering it. Let's see, I need to pull this tight because my score is off a little. I must have missed it down here. Okay. Alright, now, oh, and I forgot to tell you, the hinges, I did 3 inches by 10 1/4 inches, and then I scored at 1 1/2 inch, and then I cut out my, you know, I just mitered my corners. And I did that. I did this bigger than what I normally do. Normally I would just do 2 inches, and that's all you really need, but I had these 3-inch pieces just laying around. So that's why I did that. Okay. Now I gotta decide which is my front. Well, it doesn't matter right now. The pattern on these is not gonna matter. But I do want to drop stuff. I don't want to do this. Okay. This is a 12 by 12 sheet. I scored it at 3/4 inches all the way around. And it does fit just perfect, and it's maybe just a little loose, but trying to figure how I want to do this. I think I just want to miter my corners. Right here, anyway. Okay, I'm mitering the corners on the part that goes right here. And then, because this is going to fold over like that, and it will be mitered right there. So I probably shouldn't have done that. Don't miter this side, only miter the one side. I'm going to deal with this. I'll put something there to hide it. Y'all know me. I'll just fix it to where it looks good for me. Okay. First off, let's get our tape on. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't already tape this because I want to show y'all how I tape this to get the best coverage. I'm going to run tape all around the outside. And I'm not going to stress if it's not right against the outside because I know it's going to fold over. Let's see, I'm even going to run it over here just a hair. Okay, now I'm going to run this tape right there. Yeah, I crossed it. You're not supposed to, I know. Let's try to miter it down. I mean, not miter it, I'm sorry. Burnish. My little tools in the other room. Oh, that's not going to work. This might, though. Look, if you don't have a burnishing tool with you, use your scissors. Well, these are Steven's scissors from when he was in kindergarten, but you could still use them. See, they even have his name on them. Somewhere on them. Alright, now I'm going to tape the inside all the way around on this. And since I don't know what I'm going to be doing with these corners yet, because I can't remember what I do with them, I'll have to wait till I get it on there to find out. I'm not going to tape them right now. And this will be, you really need to get closer to the edge than that, but this will be also, these sides will be covered by some other paper. So it will help hold it down if you're not real close to your edge. Okay. Let's burnish this. It's kind of cold today. We have a cold north wind. I guess, well, for us it's cold. I guess if you live up north or east, you might not think it's cold. Because, I mean, it's like 68, 69 degrees out there. And when the wind's not blowing, it's really nice. But when the wind's blowing, it's chilly. Okay. No, it needs to go like that. Okay, so let's pull this off. It did not miter good. I mean, burnish good. Okay, now, I'm just going to, you don't have to do this. You can use a glue stick. I just don't have one available right now. I'm just going to run this over this to give me a little bit of spacing time. Because if you have dealt with score tape, you know that it will pick up that paper, stick to it, and you will be in trouble. Use my finger and just kind of smear it. Doesn't bother me to get dirty. Okay. Now, I want this side to go over there, and I just want to kind of, like that. I'm just going to line it up. This way. It's easier for me. Sorry, y'all. I want to line up on my... They're off just a hair, too. I don't know why. need this to... Now, if you're a perfectionist and you're not me, you want to take your ruler and do a 1/8 inch piece right here to cut a line with a pencil to cut. Me, I'm just going to freehand it because that's how I roll. That's just how I am. Okay, now I'm going to start with this one right here, and I want to pull it pretty tight. And then here I want to tuck my corners. All right, now I'm going to have to pull this pretty tight because the score line is off a little. But when I did it at 1 inch, the score line was way off and it showed on the other side. So what I'm going to do to fix this is just pull tight. And then that way when I put it down and I pull tight, it pulls that score line up to where it needs to be. Okay, now we're going to do the same here. We're going to tuck our corner. It doesn't want to tuck. It says, no, Christina, no. I don't want you to tuck me. So we're just going to fold you, and you're ripped, and if you were a person, I'd spank your little bottom. You were ripping. But you're not. You're just paper. And no, I wouldn't spank anybody. I barely ever spanked my own child. That's why he's so rotten. Alright, there's that. Now I'm going to pull this. Yep, for sure don't cut on this side right there. I'm going to have to fix that. Alright, now I want to make sure that I bend. Okay, this is what I do so I don't forget, because I will get into this and I will totally forget to put this on. And this is going to be what ties my album. So I want it to be where it gets hidden by this paper. Fix that too. Alright. It's my art glitter glue. And I'm going to do it about right here. And that, with the score tape that's going to be here, and the paper is going to hold that in place. See, I want to be able to have a nice, big, pretty ribbon bow, so I'll cut it like that. I just will forget, and I know. So, when I come to do this, this will be already done, and I won't forget. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side and get a drink right quick. Sorry. Let me see about cleaning some of this up. A little special book that Tammy made me. I don't want to mess that up. Okay. Come on, lift up and slide under. Okay, so And yes, if you could see the edges, my desk is that full on the sides. I am going to run this against my edges like so. Oh, I think I told y'all yesterday my sister-in-law got to go home yesterday for the first time. She's been in the hospital for 3 weeks. I am so happy for her because I know that that's where she's at. And she told me the funniest story, and Diane, I hope you don't mind if I tell it, but the second time that she coded, she said that the blackness was coming in, and all she could think was, her husband's face was right there above her, Lane. He was looking down at her. And she said all I could think was that he was going with me, so I just grabbed his shirt, and I was going to pull him in the hole with me. I thought that was kind of funny. But God's not done with Diane yet. Diane is a very special woman. Okay, now. Now, I do not use glue. A lot of people you'll see will just do the outsides, and then they'll use glue in here, or they'll use their ATG. I want to make sure that this is down, and then it's not going to come up. And I have found sometimes with the glue that it will buckle a little. So it's not my thing. Other people, I'm sure, don't have that problem. They know how to deal with it. I just don't. And like I said, you can find, I've said this in other videos, the cheapest place that I have ever found to buy score tape is at Scrapbooking With Me Boutique on Facebook, or you could go to scrapbookingwithme.com, and that's our .com store, online store, and get the score tape. But I have found that it is the easiest, the cheapest, I'm sorry, not the easiest, the cheapest place to buy. And I'm telling you, I checked, because I got a lot of score tape, so I checked eBay. And this was back before I started really shopping with the boutique. I was, a member, but I hadn't bought anything. I was hesitant to buy anything, and I had just started doing the mini albums. I was actually doing one, and it was a file folder mini, and so it wasn't something that I had heard of. I had never heard of score tape. I had never heard of, any of that. A lot of stuff. So I had found some in Mineral Wells, which is about an hour and 15 minutes from here, at what was my favorite scrapbooking store, standalone store. And she's no longer in business, but I found some there. And then I figured out, even with the shipping, once I started doing the mini albums, and I had to drive to Mineral Wells when I needed score tape and all of that, and I asked, I can't remember if I asked Denise or Beatrice or Tammy or who, if they sold score tape. And they did at the boutique. And I looked it up and I was like, huh, because score tape is like, the standalone was like $5 and I want to say like $5.49 or something like that. Oops, I want to take this one off. Yeah. And so I knew what that was costing me, and I knew, you know, that I probably needed to add in gas, but I didn't. I didn't add in gas. And so I checked on eBay, and to find it cheaper than the boutique, or the same, no, it was the same price as the boutique, you had to buy 80 rolls at a time. Do you know how much 80 rolls of score tape costs at one time? Wasn't going to happen. I wasn't sure I was going to stay in the mini albums. I really wasn't. It wasn't me. I mean, I was always a layout person. And don't get me wrong, I love my layouts. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing 5 layout videos next week with the January kit. So, y'all be sure and watch. But anyway, I wasn't sure it was going to be my thing, and, you know, and with regular scrapbooking, you don't have to use score tape, and I do now because of the way it holds, but you don't have to with regular scrapbooking. So whenever I got to looking and I could get the score tape, and, you know, it was cheaper at scrapbookingwithme.com. I mean, not scrapbookingwithme.com. At that point, I don't even know if she had the .com. I don't know how long she's had it. Oh, what am I doing? I don't want to do that yet. No. Alright. Flip it over. Let's get this thing on. I'd like to get both my videos done today and uploaded so that tomorrow I won't be doing a video. Okay. Shoot, I don't think that's the way I meant to go. I think I meant to go this way. Piece doesn't even have score tape on it. Okay. Anyway, if you do the price comparison, you will find that Scrapbooking with Me Boutique has the cheapest prices on your score tape. Unless you want to buy a huge amount all at once. And I'm just going to tell y'all, I like the score tape. I'm okay with the Miracle tape. It's a larger roll, and if, you know, someone's offering a special on it, I'll, you know, maybe buy some, but it's not my go-to tape. I've used it. I like it. I mean, it holds pretty good, and unlike score tape, it does give you a little, uh-oh, not good, Christina. It ripped on my score line. Okay. Okay, let's get this up. Then we'll try to fix it. Alright. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic because I don't have no more of this paper and the 12 by 12, so I got to fix it. Now, what can I do? What can I do right there? Just going to hide that. I think I will decide on that once I get into decorating the inside, what I'm going to do. Okay. See, don't panic, don't stress. It can be fixed and hidden. My daddy always said, when you're building something, as long as you build it right, if you make a flaw, it can be hidden. Meaning, you know, it needs to be structurally sound, but if, say, one of your boards is not perfectly done, you know, or has a flaw in it from where you bought it, then I think I just like doing this better. Folding my edges over like that. Like I'm doing my school book. Remember when we used to have to use the, you had books at school and you had to use the paper bags or the paper book covers. I don't know about y'all, but a lot of the schools here in Texas have quit using traditional books, and they use iPads and MacBooks and, you know, stuff like that. Okay. A couple of flawed areas I'm going to have to fix. Okay, this is going to be my front. Let me see where I put this at from the bottom. Looks like I started it at 6. Dang it. Where did I put it from the top? Looks like it's 4. Okay. I'm loving having my my glue back. Oh, shoot a monkey. There it is. And yes, I shoot a lot of monkeys. My stepson, Joey, he gets a kick out of that. He'll ask me a lot. He'll say, what did that monkey ever do to you? Well, made me mad, I guess. I might as well just use all of that. Okay. Now we're on to the inside. I'm going to tuck our ribbons underneath. They may get some trimming done later, but okay. I have this I want to put down first. Okay, I'm only going to ink the edges I know are going to show. These side edges, they're not going to show. And no, I did not ink these. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know what I'm stepping on. I'm stepping on something down there. I've got to get this room organized. I had it when I first moved in here. I had it all organized, and I just don't like the way I have it. Because when I was doing that marathon, countdown to Christmas, trying to come up with something every day, I had to drag a lot of stuff out, and so I'm thinking I'm going to redo the room somehow. Parts of it. Not all of it, just parts of it. And then I'm just going to tape the inside right here. Because I have this end taped, so it'll be fine just going right here. And I'm going to run right down the center to hold it in place. Okay, and if y'all remember, I'm using the Graphic 45 Children's Hour to make this. If you like the Graphic 45 Children's Hour, you might want to tell. And yes, I'm putting me a little glue right here. It's not going to close it up. It's just going to hold the paper when I bend it over in, kinda. Okay. Okay, so okay. Let's see. I don't want to tear it up, but I left my little thingy in the other room. Bad part about when you're crafting in 3 different rooms, you don't know where you leave everything. Okay, I want to bend my spine down into that. And that's what that glue is for, to hold that. It should catch some of that paper and hold it. Should be the operative word. I don't like that bubble right there. Okay. No. Darn it. I have to put something there now. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to have to. Okay. So, we got that done. Got our ribbon on, so we can go ahead and put this on. And we'll do blue up here. And red back here. because I only have 3 sheets of this, 3 partial sheets. Alright, now this I do want to ink all of the edges. And this is cut at 10 by 10. This one was cut at 10 by 4. 10 long, 4 wide. And these are 10 by 10. And the chipboard. You can buy the chipboard in 12 by 12 pieces. I think it comes as a 10-pack or a 12-pack, something like that. Maybe a 25-pack. I can't remember. I think it may be 25. It's pretty inexpensive. You can find it at Scrapbooking with Me Boutique also, and on the .com store, I believe you can. Sometimes we don't have everything on. I don't know. I'm not in charge of any of the thing with the .com, but I don't think it always has everything that we have in the boutique. But the chipboard, you can get it in 12 by 12 or 6 by 6. It's awesome. It's wonderful. You can cut it with your Cricut if you use the deep cutting blade and the multi-cut. I found that out last night when I asked Edith, the owner, because a customer wanted to know, one of our customers. And I no longer have my Cricut. I sold my Cricut. I didn't use it. To me, it just was useless because I didn't use it. And so I sold it. And it turned out to be a good thing because, as y'all know, in August, the end of August, 1st of September, we went off grid. So I'm having to really limit my electrical usage in my craft room. So you'll almost never see me, other than the light. You probably won't see me use electric stuff unless I do some embossing. If I ever find where my heat tool is. I have a really cute one. It's super cute. And I can't find it. But I don't do a lot of embossing anyway. I would like to get more into the embossing. I'm just not real good with it, I don't guess. Okay, this time I am going to save some of my score tape. Don't fall. I know you were stacked up with that. You're going to fall. Yep. I'm going to use my ATG gum because this is just matte. It's not... And I made sure my outsides were secure. And this is on the inside, and it's not something that's going to be folded and moved around a lot. So, just kind of lining it up to where it's got the... I need it to line up with my purple. Well, it's lined up on one end, but the other end it's not quite. I may have cut the purple just a little long. Okay. Boy, I got a lot of hiding and trimming and stuff to do on this. That's tearing up all over the place. Let me get an old one. That one's pretty new. Pretty new. I'm doing my cheating method just to get it inked. This one's almost out of ink. Man, finding enough ink in this to ink these edges. Darn it. Back to this one. Alright, we may not get this one done today. I may have to do one more video because I'm wanting to get the weekend challenge video done. So we're going to get this part together and then we'll attach the pages to the binding probably Monday, maybe Tuesday. Well, now where did I set it? I'm going to tell y'all, I would seriously lose my head if it was not attached to my body. Seriously. And it seems like the older I get, the worse it gets that I can't remember where I put something. I can remember what happened 15, 20 years ago, word for word, what was said and what happened, but I can't remember where I set the score tape. 5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, or a minute ago, or 5 seconds ago. No, I'm out. I'm just going to have to put that aside and go to the score tape. Darn it. I just only need one more little piece. There. Okay. Just trying to line this one up. That one lined up just fine. Alright. There's our cover. We've got to do some fixing and some decorating, but there's our cover. Let's see. I already have the tape on this, so we're just going to go ahead and slap this baby down. And you know what? We may go ahead and put the pages in because I already have the tape there where it needs to be, and then we can just decorate the album, the inside flaps and the outside of the album on Monday. That'll give me a chance to figure out what I'm going to do to cover some boo-boos. Okay, so like I said, I will link Kathy Orta's YouTube video. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate putting this down. I will link her YouTube video on how to make your hidden hinge. Because that is her creation. She invented it, and I am not going to infringe, even though there are 15 million ways you could do this, because everybody in the world has changed it up a little. Stay. Don't fall. Okay. Play with this a little bit to make them where they turn easy. Okay, now, let's see, that's September and October. March and April are second. Oh, they didn't get scored. I didn't pull them out and glue. Okay, let's let that and this dry while we put these in. I probably didn't do this one either. Nope, did not. Okay. And here's January and February. It's going to go first. So we want to take this tape off both sides of this. And then we want to make sure January is on facing that way. Because, you know, we put these here so that we would know. That heart's going to have to move. Darn, why didn't I think about that? Maybe not. Okay, we're lining it up with the top and the bottom of our purple, leaving a little bit of the hinge so that we can bend. Filling her down. Okay, let's get that off of there because I made one. Right here. There's our January. I may come in and trim that down some though. Okay. Now, when did I put February? Here's February. See the cute little heart? I got that at Scrapbooking With Me Boutique a while back. Last year maybe? Year before? Something like that. They're so cute on little projects. And the double heart, it came from the boutique. Almost everything on that page did. Alright, now, next is March and April. This is worrying me just a little. Just a tiny little bit. Okay, so oh my goodness, come on. Maybe I should have had this weight. I want to get it where it's not avalanching on me. Okay, I don't ever have this much problem getting these on. I may have to turn this a little so that I can get to a better way to do it. If y'all see my gray hair, I'm sorry. Just trying to... Okay, we want to level it up. Fin it up with... Well, let's see if that's going to be about right. Okay, that's where we want it, right there. Okay, these are the ones that are drying. So I'm going to let them dry before I put theirs in. Okay, April. Now we need May and June, and that's right here with the pink one. Bloom where you're planted. I love that. I have used it several times. Oops, I got a thing that fell off. You know what? I think I'm just going to put a little jewel there. Maybe this. And well, I have to worry about trying to get that little thing back on. Anyway, I like that saying, bloom where you're planted. If God plants you somewhere, then you need to be happy and bloom there. And I need to take that advice. So, okay. Okay, now, make sure those are kind of together. Okay, now, where is May's? There's July. Well, I'm going to have to clean up. I may not get to the challenge until tomorrow. Because by the time I get this one done with what we're doing, I am going to have time to upload it before dark. Because hubby said to start staying offline after dark. Let's see, I'm going to put those right there for right now. Okay, now where is June's? Yeah, I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow for the challenge because I got to get this cleaned up. My avalanche has decided to fall on me. That June? No. No, no, no. Okay, maybe I'll find it. It's got to be on here somewhere. Okay, so next is July and August. Now, let's try lining this up. And I like to lift the page and line my pages up, just so I know that it's lined. Okay. Now, here's July's. Here's August. Alright, September and October are next. And remember, September's the one we messed up. So, I think, or was it November? No, November. Messed up November, that's the one. Oh, the other one on so smooth. Okay. Get this sealed down. Well, that one fell off too. Should have made my gussets a little bigger. That's September. That's October. Is that September? No, that wasn't November's. This is September's. And this is October's. Okay, now we got December and November, and another one fell off. I'm going to have to find me some little rhinestones and replace all those, because I don't like that. I don't like that they're going to be falling off. Okay. They're all falling off. All right. Look at that. These are probably dry enough now that I could put them in. Nope. It's still moving. Alright. There is our mini album. Not so many, huh? See, I got to find June's. And Monday, we will decorate the inside flaps and the front cover, because I do think I'm going to try real quick to do my challenge. Okay, so we'll finish this on Monday, and I will be back in just a few minutes with the next project.